Gervonta Tank Davis clowns Devin Haney after Devin Haney gives a heartfelt speech on ESPN yesterday after Ryan Garcia popped dirty for PEDs. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Gervonta Davis is a clown and people are clowning Devin Haney for what Devin Haney said. Real quick, before I get into it, thank you for coming back to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports the channel, watching the videos, hitting the like button, coming by the live streams. If you guys are here on a regular basis, thank you so much, man. I can't tell you how much I really do appreciate you. Can't do the channel without you. And it's a real blessing in my life. So just to be able to get up every morning and do these videos and chop it up with you about boxing, I want to let you know how much I really appreciate you. And thank you specifically to everybody that supports in the super thanks monetarily and the super thanks of videos like this, because that's really one of the ways that we're able to continue to do this on a day in and day out basis. So thank you. Thank you, Barbara D, Matty O. Thank you to my guy, everybody that supported over there. Mr. Pragmatic, Paul Carrick, thank you. But let's get into this, okay? Gervonta Davis seemingly came to the defense of Ryan Garcia over his PED test and was really hating on Devin Haney and saying, hey, man, they're doing anything to get Devin Haney that win. So he came and he defended him, right? Or what people would say is defended him, basically saying he didn't believe it, thinking that the Haneys are shady and boxing is shady. So, you know, he wasn't believing it, right? Ryan Garcia responded to Gervonta when Ryan said, hey, man, if I'm sticking up for you and you did it, man, I'm going to punch you in the face. Ryan, and when I see you, Ryan says, man, I didn't do it. Right. So there's that going on. Meanwhile, Devin is affronted, obviously, and he goes on ESPN. And I think he went on ESPN a little bit prematurely. Matter of fact, I think everybody's going prematurely on this thing with Ryan. I'll explain that in a second for you. But Devin says that Ryan's a cheater. You know, I've never been in the ring with anybody that was that much better than me. I thought something was up at the time, but I didn't want to make any excuses. However, I'm not going to rematch him because he put my life at risk. He could have killed me in that ring, all of that stuff, right? And I don't have a problem with him feeling cheated. I think you should. I don't like that attitude, though, because really, if the dude gets off a suspension, you just test him, and you run it back with him, and you make sure he's clean when you run it back with him. And then you do what you do. You get your lick back, because the truth of the matter is, people are not going to forget that you got beat up. Sorry, it's just what happens. This is not going to change it, especially since there's a good probability that Ryan Garcia is not going to face any punishment for this. I'll explain that in a second. However, the pettiness of Gervonta Davis should be mentioned, because Gervonta Davis out the blue tweets Devin Haney and says, man, how's that jaw, champ? See, that right there, man, tells you how people think. I'm telling you, man, that's how people think, man. We are an uncivilized community, man. And I'm talking about boxing fans specifically, human beings in general, but boxing fans specifically. There is something about people that get up every day and talk about men and women beating each other up for a living and laughing at somebody getting beat up. And look, all you people who are out there trying to virtue signal when Devin got beat up, saying, I can't believe anybody would ever laugh at somebody getting beat up. Man, please. People laugh and ooh and ah about people getting beat up in a boxing ring every week. There ain't nothing special about Devin or Ryan, and y'all would be laughing if it happened to Gervonta. Terrence Crawford fans were laughing when it happened to Errol Spence. I mean, come on, man. It is what it is. People laugh at it. So that's why I'm telling you that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney going to need to run it back no matter what happens with this test. And that is personified in the reaction of Gervonta Davis. Because Gervonta said, man, how's that chin? How's that jaw feeling? As in, man, that performance enhancing test, no matter what happens, ain't gonna unbreak your jaw, man. It ain't gonna unbreak your jaw. And it ain't gonna make people forget that people broke your jaw. There's somebody else just out there waiting to break your jaw next. And they may or may not get busted for what's in their system because, man, you better believe a whole lot of people got that stuff in their system and aren't getting caught. But as far as not rematching Ryan Garcia or Ryan Garcia not rematching Devin Haney, that positive test basically should solidify the fact that these guys got to run that back. And if Devin wins it, you got to run it back a third time, man. But as far as, and I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to have another video about this. I could be wrong, but do not hold your breath waiting for Ryan Garcia to get suspended for Ostarine in his system. Do not hold your breath. There was I've done enough research on Ostarine. I've done enough research and listened to enough people that I would consider to be experts on the subject talk about it. And the literature associated with it points to, hey, man, that could be contamination. And the expert opinion on it is like, hey, man, that could be contamination. It would not, and they would actually say, hey, if I had to guess, I would guess contamination. I wouldn't guess that he actually ingested it for the sake of performance enhancing benefits. And these are experts. They ain't got anybody. They don't have, they're not in the corner of Devin or in the corner of Ryan Garcia when they say this. So look, man, do not be surprised. I'm telling you, do not be surprised. That's why I'm telling y'all, when I'm looking at the fact that Ryan and Devin need to run that fight back if Ryan gets off, which is a good possibility that he will get off, because it's not going to unbust that man's jaw. Also, even if he gets cleared, and this is from the Ryan standpoint, even if he gets cleared, you're still going to have the stigma of having that in your system, because a whole lot of people are not going to take the time, nor are they inclined to believe anything that is said once something is in your system. They're not going to buy it, man. They're not going to buy the dog ate my homework excuse. Just not going to work. They're going to say, look, it's in your system. You did it, period. And even though I myself can sit back because of what happened to Alyssa Baumgardner and say, hold on, man, you know, something will pop up in your system and there could be a reason for it to be there. Man, I'm predisposed to do that type of stuff. That's just me, right? I'm somebody that is really into justice for people and believe that, hey, man, as a black person who comes from a community where people have been falsely accused in kangaroo courts, right, and lynched by public mobs, right? I'm like, hold on, man, we work real hard so that we could get a fair trial, not no trial. We want a fair trial. First of all, we want a trial. And then when we get the trial, we want the trial to be fair. We don't want people playing games with the trial. We want a fair jury. We want a fair, you want a fair judge. We want all the evidence on the table. We want to have access to a lawyer. We want all of those things. So that's the way that I was educated. That's the way that I view the world. Unfortunately for Ryan, that's not how most people view the world. They hear on the newspaper, he did it. Oh, he did it. Oh, he's accused. That means he did it. And that's it. It didn't work for Bill Cosby. It doesn't work. That's how it went with Bill Cosby. That's how it went for Michael Jackson. That's how it went for P. Diddy. Take that. As soon as the accusation hits the table, that's what's up. Say it happened to Errol Spence with Derrick James. As soon as the accusation hits the table, that's what they think the deal is. So you got to get back. You got to get your get back, man. And on the other side, there are people that are going to look at Devin like, man, I don't know. I mean, look at Devin and say, man, I don't care about that. Man, all them dudes juicing, man. You got whooped. I ain't trying to hear you. You should have won, man. Should have bobbed when you weaved. That type of move. Man, anyway, man, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces. Shout out to Rick Timms. Deuces.